family, welcome back, you guys. Happy 2022 in real time. I hope you guys' year is off to an amazing start. So today, you guys, I just wanted to sit down and do a catch-up video, do a sip and chat with you guys about what's been going on, where I've been, what happened to Vlogmas, how did I fall off, what my hopes and goals are for 2022, how I've been resetting life in preparation for 2022, and just all that good stuff. If you guys want to sit down and chat with me and catch up, then stick around for the video. Before we jump into this video, if you happen to be new here, hi, welcome. My name is Danielle and I am the non-traditional mommy. I am a mom of 12 kids. We homeschool, we own a business. And so this channel pretty much just talks about marriage and parenting. We do vlogs and reviews, basically anything that pertains to life and is placed on my heart. So if any of that is of interest of yours, we would love for you to stick around and join our family by hitting the subscribe button. To the rest of my non-traditional family, to my family, to my MVPs, you guys are still and always and will forever be the MVPs. Like, seriously, you guys are the MVPs, and I love you bunches. Thanks for hanging in there with me, you guys. Mwah. Go grab your drinks. I'll wait. Let's sip and chat. I am going to be having a vanilla chai tea latte in this cute little mug. Isn't this cute, you guys? This was actually one of Lonnie's Christmas gift. This is Chip from Beauty and the Beast, those of you who are familiar. And I just thought that this would be so cute and so fun to have my tea in during this sip and chat. Go get your drink and we'll wait for you. All right, now that you got your drink and you're all settled in and cozy, let us catch up and let us chat. I don't know what it is, you guys. We'll start with Vlogmas and what happens. First of all, those of you who stuck with me through Vlogmas, you guys are the MVPs of MVP. I love you guys. Thank you for sticking with me through the inconsistency and sporadicness of what Vlogmas ends up being for me. I don't know what it is about Vlogmas, but ever since I've started trying to do it, it is so difficult to get through a full 25 days, and I have no idea what it is. I'll start Vlogmas, I'll be coasting, rocking and rolling, and then life is like throwing melons at me, and I'm like driving, trying to go around the melons to get to my goal. It's like Mario Kart. If you've ever played Mario Kart, that's what comes to my mind, like whoop, 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 and I'm trying to get to my goal. And I don't know if it's because I'm trying to vlog every day and my life is in real life just chaotic a lot of times, or I don't know if it's the end of the year, and because it's a holiday, we run a business, because we're doing all things to close up our year, if it's just a lot. I don't know which one it is. Yeah, it's always hard for me to just be really consistent and vlog for 25 days straight. And so I said a lot of times during that Vlogmas that I was working my butt off because I was trying so desperately to get all my work done so I could have 2 weeks or a week and a half or even just a week off the few days before Christmas to a few days after New Year's Day to just be off. And I think that burnt me out, and it was a lot. It was a lot. I was grinding. Christmas happened. And then the day after Christmas, my little brother comes to me and he's like, don't panic, because he knows how I am. He's like, don't panic. My throat hurts a little bit. I'm not feeling all that great. And I'm like, no, this can't be happening. I immediately put him in quarantine, which he was sent to his room. And we were like, just go in there, stay in your room, and let's see if this is allergies or something weather-wise. The weather was crazy here. It was like 70 degrees one day, 40 degrees the next day. It was crazy. So I had said to him, maybe it's just that. Let's quarantine you and let's see how you feel tomorrow. That next day, which I believe was Monday, he was like, I'm not feeling any better. My symptoms are getting worse. At that time, he had like a slight cough. He felt fatigue. He didn't have a temperature, but his symptoms weren't getting better, but getting worse. So we were like, okay, let's go ahead and get you a COVID test and see what happens. My husband went and got him one of the over-the-counter home testing kits because all of our testing centers, the doctors, everybody was out of COVID tests, like the rapid COVID test. And the PCR tests, they were scheduling out for a week. So we found the rapid COVID test for home, which comes with 2 tests in the kit. So we brought that back. He took the test, and Lord and behold, it came back positive. Y'all that know me and have been here since the 2020 pandemic, my family, people in my real life, y'all know I have tried so hard and have been so diligent about trying to keep COVID out of this house, partially because there's a lot of us. And when one person gets something, it typically goes through the whole family. So because it's a lot of us, I've been trying to keep it out for that reason. Also because my husband is high risk. Now he's vaccinated and boosted and all of that, thank God. But still, that very beginning time, we didn't go out to eat. We literally sheltered at home. We didn't even eat fast food. We didn't do Uber Eats, none of that. We were home, and we did that for the entire 2020 once lockdown started until January of 2021. And then in 2021, we started putting our toes back out into the world, but we were always masked. Try to practice social distancing as much as our environment allowed us to do, and just being so cautious, you guys. So for COVID to just walk through my front door, it's like, really like this is what we doing. So we had one more test. I was feeling fine at the time. Lonnie was feeling fine at the time. Everybody was pretty much feeling fine except for Sydney. She didn't feel that well. She couldn't determine if it was her typical cycle symptoms or if it was something else. And she tends to be the hypochondriac of the family. And she had to work. She had some plans with some friends. And so she was like freaking out when she found out. So we tested her with the other test, and her test came back negative. We were like, okay. But then we thought, well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and test everybody that has to leave the house. So all the kids that have to work, myself, Lonnie. So Lonnie goes to get more test kits for home, and out. Store sold out. He drives literally, you guys, all around Tennessee. 0 home testing kits in stock. 0, none. So then I call my doctor again. I call the kids' doctors again. We're calling everywhere we could possibly call. Nothing. So we were like, okay, let's just, to be on the safe side, let's stay home. Let's just quarantine ourselves, even though everybody feels okay. So that's what we opted to do. That Wednesday, I went down out the blue. Was sick. My throat was killing me. I had a headache like no headache I have ever had before in my entire life. I was so fatigued. My whole body was hurting. At that point, I'm like, I want to get a test. So now I'm like really like trying. Nothing. So I still to this day don't know if it was COVID or a flu or whatever. But y'all, I felt so defeated. To be so cautious and to feel like you're doing everything right. Everybody in my house that's 5 and up has been vaccinated. But to do everything that you feel like you can do right, to follow all of the protocols and all of the things. And again, this thing to just literally just walk through your front door. It was like, I felt so defeated. And I really feel like that knocked the wind out of me, literally and metaphorically. I was sick from Wednesday until Monday. It wasn't until Tuesday that I felt strong enough to get out of bed and do something. And so by then it was what, January 2nd. And so now we're in the new year. And I don't know, I think part of being sick, and I hadn't been sick in 2 years. So I think my body was like, what is this? What are we doing? Are we fighting something? And I think that, and then the mental capacity of being sick, and then what is this that I have, the worry of what do I have, and then trying to quarantine myself because Trice was okay, 11 was okay, all the little kids for the most part, and Lonnie was okay, trying to stay separated from them, which was so difficult, of course, when you have a toddler who doesn't understand what's going on. So I think all the mental capacity of it was a lot. It was a lot. Of course, I didn't vlog anything after Christmas because all of that was going on. And then I didn't edit or upload anything because all of that was going on. Fast forward, and we're rocking and rolling into 2022. I'm back into the grind of things, but I'm not back. I just felt this sense of heaviness, right? I think dealing with that and then being thrown back into work, I just felt sad. I almost felt like, what can I control? You know what I mean? For those of you who struggle with control issues, that may make sense for you, but for me, it was, what can I control? It did make me feel, this is so sad. Like I can do only so much, but whatever else is going to happen, right? And I don't know, it just played mental games and mental tricks with my head. That began to make me question everything, because it's like a spiral, right? You start one thing and then you're like, well, this is this, and what does this mean, and what does that mean? In that questioning and trying to uplift myself and reading and all the things that I do to pull myself out of those funks, I came across the idea of being fatigued from making decisions. So decision fatigue is the thing. How we make so many decisions. We're faced with all these different decisions in our life and throughout the day, and how it can eventually take a toll on you and you feel burnt out and don't want to make any kind of decision. I started thinking, how does this apply to my life? Because when you're a homeschooling mom, on top of all the other things, being a homeschool mom, owning a business, being a wife, and just doing life, right, as an individual person, you have to make so many decisions. You are asked so many questions. Like, the moment I open my eyes, you guys, it's like questions, decisions. These questions, okay, how do I answer that? What decision do I make here? What do I do here? It's just a lot. And so started processing that and working through that. In this processing, one of the things that I realized is, oh my God, every time I'm feeling decision fatigue, I cut my hair. And I had never put the two and two together, but I realized that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's one of the things that my whole life I've done. Even in college, you guys, I've had my hair like this. And I was like, I think it's correlated with me being burnt out from making decisions. And what is one of the easiest things to do? Cut my hair, because now I don't have to make a decision about how I'm going to do my hair in the morning, or what am I doing with my hair, or what's this with my hair. Like, it eliminates a decision for me. And that was an aha moment for me. Then in that moment, I'm like, okay, I felt like this sense of renewedness, a sense of hope. And it was like, what other decisions can I take off my plate to maybe free up this weight that I feel like I'm carrying around? One of those was clothes. I don't have a lot of clothes. I'm not one of those people. But in this case, I had too many choices, too many decisions. I decided I'm going to get rid of all these clothes, and I'm going to strip it down to black and white t-shirts, black and white button downs, and that's it. So in the morning when I get up, it's either a white shirt or a black shirt. That's it. It's either a t-shirt or a button down. Like, what look are you going for? And that's it. So I got rid of all of my clothes. I donated stuff. Some of the stuff I was like, girl, now why you still have this? And so I got rid of that stuff. And then some of it I really didn't want to let go of. For those of you who are familiar with Marie, I think it's Marie Kondo. You're supposed to feel if it still brings you joy. And some of it still brought me joy, but I was like, I need to get rid of it. So I packed it up in a bin and put it in the garage out of sight. And we'll revisit it. Maybe when I'm not feeling so heavy, I might want that stuff back. Or maybe I'll be like, that really wasn't bringing me joy. That's what I did with all of my clothes. Stripped everything down to basic choices. And if I find that the black and white is too much, I'll just go down to either black or white, like one color. But yeah, so I did that. And then the other thing I decided to do was start menu planning. Now, those of you who menu plan, don't be like, really? You just now doing this? But what I thought menu planned in the past. In the past, I would sit down, I would plan out meals for the week. So this is what we're going to eat for the week. Then I would go grocery shopping for that stuff and then eat whatever was in that stock of what I bought for the week, if that makes sense. So I might plan out 7 meals, go buy those meals, or well, more than 7 if you're breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But y'all get the gist. I would go buy all the groceries and then be like, oh, that's right, I have hamburgers in there. We'll eat hamburgers today. That kind of thing. That was my idea of menu planning. But what I started doing is literally menu planning. What I did is I planned out the entire month of January, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. And then at the beginning of the week on Sunday, I go back to that and then I plan out the week. So I look at what I had for that week, put that all in the week. We're going to have this for breakfast, this for lunch, this for dinner, and this for a snack. And then I go grocery shopping for that stuff and I literally eat what is on the menu for that day. That's what we cook. That's what we eat. And oh my gosh. Talk about loads and bricks just falling from me, weight just falling. This has been the best thing ever, and I don't see myself stopping this for a very long time. The idea of not having to think about food, I knew that thinking about food was weighing on me, but I didn't realize how much it was weighing on me. Even in a Vlogmas, I think in one of my videos, I was like, y'all, I gotta think about what I'm gonna cook now, and I gotta go home, and that whole thing. I still don't like the grocery shopping. I wish I had a personal shopper. That part I don't like, and I know about Instacart, and I know about Walmart delivery, but where I live, y'all, it's too inconsistent, so it just don't work. But yeah, I love the fact that on a Thursday, I just look at that menu and I'm like, this is what's for breakfast. I don't have to think about it at all. And even with Lonnie coming to me and being like, hey, what's for lunch? I just doop, look at my iPad. Oh, today is sandwiches. And he's like, okay, got it. Go make sandwiches. Instead of in the past, it would be like, okay, what's in there? What did I buy? What was I planning on for this week or whatever? And having to think about it. You know what I mean? So it's like, y'all, seriously, it's the best thing ever. So that was the other thing that I incorporated and started doing in order to alleviate decision making, or one of the things that I used to have to make a decision about, in hopes to reset my spirit and my soul and my mind and all the things for 2022. So yes, menu planning, the whole sit down, plan it out, grocery shop, literally have it set, the best thing ever. Then on top of that, I rearranged my bedroom. One of the things about me is that when I am like stressed, or I feel my anxiety going high, or I'm just like, I feel it, my energy is just off, I will rearrange my furniture. Been doing it since I was like itty bitty, y'all. That is something that I have done. I was sick. I felt better Tuesday. Wednesday, I rearranged my bedroom. My husband came in and he was like, shouldn't you still be in the bed or something? Don't you still have remnants of what's going on? Like, you in here, I'm moving the bed around. So I rearranged my entire bedroom. And then his closet, what would have been his closet technically, which is where I am right now, I turned into my office space. What I've realized in trying to reset and reading, I've been reading Atomic Habits. That's the book that I'm currently reading. He talked about having designated spaces, like when you're trying to create habits, when you're trying to get rid of negative habits and build positive habits. He talked about having designated spaces. And I realized maybe that is affecting my workflow or being a better mom, because I would just work at the kitchen table or I would work on the couch or whatever. And there was this blurry line between me being in work mode and me being in mom mode or me being in wife mode or whatever. They see me in the kitchen working and everybody feels like they could come ask me a question, right? And so I was like, I think I do need a designated space to just work. And I created a little office space in my bedroom, but even that, just being out and in the open. So I felt like I needed something. And we are not in a huge house. You guys saw the video where I did last year about self-care and what I was doing. I turned our bonus room into my office, my meditation space, like a woman cave, and opted to give that space up to Jaden because she will be 19 in February. She's in college. She's doing 2 years at home at a local college. And then she plans on going away for her last 2 years, but we felt like she just needed her own space. She's an adult, she's in college. We wanted her to have her own little separate space. I gave that space up to her and she's turned it into her little studio apartment. It's so cute up there. So I lost having a designated office space, which is fine because this is working out. So I turned his closet into my office space, and then what would have been my closet, I turned into my meditation room, because I realized that I need a meditation room. I thrive off of that. In our last house, I had a closet space that I turned into my meditation room, and I didn't realize how much I missed it until now, with sitting down and just processing my feelings and emotions. I was like, man, I actually really need that space and miss it. So I turned my closet into my meditation room, and I love that space, you guys. Like, it's probably one of my favorite spaces right now, to be able to have a space that I can go into and meditate or just sit for a minute or read or just whatever, listen to music. I put my little record player in there, my Bose speakers. I have a space to be able to be, like, just be nothing, not be anything, but just be. It has been doing wonders for my soul. Literally have been doing wonders. And that was the other thing that I did to kind of reset 2022. A lot of you know that I talk a lot about block scheduling being one of my favorite ways to plan. And it still is one of my favorite ways to plan. I'll show you guys my day for today on here. Block planning is by far one of my favorite one of my favorite ways to plan. But I realized that I like to block plan, but I hadn't been doing it appropriately for what I needed. So I talked about how I'm reading Atomic Habits, and I picked that book because I am trying to create some new habits in my life. One of them being waking up in the morning. If you guys saw my video, I think it was like 3 years ago, I tried waking up at 5 a.m. Hot mess, y'all. It was so hard, and I have not given up on that goal. My hope is that I could create the habit of being a morning person. That is what I'm currently working on. And I realized in reading that book that I have been doing my routines wrong. So I have a morning routine, and I did a video over my morning routine, and I have this night routine, or a routine that I do with the kids, which I was calling like blocks. But I didn't have, after I brush my teeth, I do this. I didn't have these set steps or exact times that I would do the things. It was, for me, it was kind of like, okay, as long as between 7 and 10 a.m. I do the kids' morning routine. and we can do it in whatever order as long as everything gets done. That's how I was operating my block schedules. But what I realized is that I needed to be like in order. I needed to be like, at this time we're going to do this, at this time we're going to do that. So I have restructured our routines, restructured how I do my block scheduling, and not created new routines, but in a way created whole new routines that I have been diligently working on. And once I feel secure in those routines and feel like, yes, this is solid, this is my routine, I will share with you guys and upload a new video of my morning routine or my night routine or whatever kind of routine. But I don't want to share it until I feel secure enough in it to talk about it. But I will share with you guys what I am working on and what it looks like. So for the kids, their night routine was, we would have dinner, they would need to brush their teeth, they would need to shower, I would read them a story, go to bed. That was what we would do in their block. Now obviously the read a story, go to bed would happen, simultaneously, read a story, go to bed. But the brush your teeth, the shower, the dinner, that could happen in any order. They could shower before dinner. They could sometimes brush their teeth before dinner. They could shower, then brush their teeth, or whatever. That can happen in any kind of way. And so what I've been doing now is being very strict about the order that those things happen and at about the time that they happen. And I have never been one of those parents that have been that strict, routine parent. I've always felt like life is just too crazy. I mean, especially my life, to get stuck on the logistics and the details of a routine, and then you find yourself somewhere else, like on a vacation, and now you can't stick to that routine, and there's that feeling of, oh my God, oh my God. It's always been my fear when it came to having these very structured routines, which is why I strayed away from them. But in reading Atomic Habits, I've learned that, girl, that's why you're struggling. That is why you're struggling. Now, the way I've been doing the kids' routine is that we are having dinner at 6:30. And I've been very strict as possible about that. They have track practice, which is from 5 to 6. Before, it would be on track days, I would want them to shower when they got home. But now I've changed my mentality on that. And so the way it goes is we have dinner, then they brush their teeth, then they shower, and then read a story, tuck in, go to bed. And we do it in that exact order. And then on days that they don't have track, they read or write for 30 minutes and they get to choose. And so we literally, at 5 o'clock, I am starting their night routine. So my block is still from 5 to 9 for the kids' night routine, but I have what order they need to be done. And I don't know how I'm feeling about it. I think I feel better, but because it's so different, I'm still navigating, which is why I'm I don't want to do a video on it yet until I know. What I can say is it alleviated decision making. And that is one of the biggest things that I wanted to work on, because now I don't have to think about, okay, what did you brush your teeth? Did you shower yet? Okay, did you eat? I don't have to think about who's done what, because I know at this time everybody's doing the same exact thing. And so I don't have to think about, okay, what time are we going to do this or what time are we going to do that? That clock strikes, sit down, it's time to have dinner. It's not, for me, it's negotiable, but in a way it's not negotiable. So it's negotiable because life happens, and if we're doing something else, then it's negotiable, right? But if we're just at home, a basic day, then it's not negotiable. Having this kind of routine and schedule has really helped me so much with decision making, because I don't have to think about what to do next, if that makes sense. Yeah, so that is what I've been up to, where I've been, what's been going on, how I'm trying to reset my life for 2022. And so let's quickly talk about this channel and YouTube and what my hopes and my goals are and my plans. So you guys, I have to admit that through all of this, I kind of was like, maybe I should just give up YouTube. Girl, you might just need to let it go. Let it go. And when I started processing that and asking myself, it's no, I don't want to let it go. And for several reasons. One of those reasons is that I don't have a lot of viewers. I don't have a lot of subscribers, but I have you guys and y'all. Like, when I say y'all MVPs, those of you who watch, who take your time, who spend your time watching, who comment, who like, y'all are the real MVPs. Bro, you're the MVPs. And for me, it's like, that's all I need. You know what I mean? I don't need millions and millions. I just, like, I got y'all. And so that continues to make me want to keep going. I've met friends off of YouTube. We met some friends in Gallenberg, another large family. They were awesome, so awesome. Hung out with them. YouTube has brought things into my life that I probably wouldn't have gotten to experience in any other way. And then on top of that, my kids, the vlogs, y'all, it's like a way for me to get our family videos put somewhere, because I have so many family videos on those little like VHS tapes. I don't know what they're called, the little mini tapes. In fact, our wedding is on a literal VHS tape. And so I used to, back in the day, move those things off the VHS tapes onto my computer, and I would edit them and put them on a DVD and then store the DVD. But over time, the DVDs got scratched, they got lost, they got broken. Then my hard drive crashed and I lost tons of video footage. And so for me, YouTube has become a place where I can put our family videos, and my kids watch. Like, they love watching the vlogs and being like, oh yeah, I remember that, or oh, look how tiny he was, or look how tiny I was, or whatever. And I'm like, man, I have got to get those videos like off of those little VHS tapes somehow. That's not what they're called, but off of those little mini DV tapes, I think they're called. I have got to figure out how to get our videos off of there. And so that's probably one of the biggest reasons as well. And then the other reason is that I started my YouTube channel, as a place for me, being a Black mom that homeschooled, that had a lot of kids. At the time, I was doing nothing but cloth diapering, trying to eat a little healthier. I was a stay-at-home mom at the time, and I didn't see a lot of that on YouTube. So for me, I initially started with the hopes to be a safe space and inspiration to other moms who homeschooled, who stayed home, who used cloth diapers, who just didn't fit into that social norm in a way. Like, I was a stay-at-home mom, but still very independent. I was doing a photography business, and me and my husband didn't have the traditional kind of setup in our marriage, which I think now in 2022 it doesn't work that way anyway anymore. But it wasn't just that traditional need to ask my husband if I could have an allowance or whatever. I initially started for that reason, doing the marriage challenges for other couples, because for those of you who don't know, my background is marriage and family therapy. And so just trying to be a space for not only Black moms, but moms and women and couples. And for those people who don't feel that they think like everybody else when it comes to their parenting style or their marriage or whatever, to be able to find somebody like, that's my person. I'm not crazy. Like, we think alike. That was the whole premise behind why I started YouTube. And then I ventured off into the vlogs and the reviews and the unboxings and things like that. My desire and hope is to get back to doing more marriage challenges, because my own personal marriage could use a marriage challenge. To get back to doing the marriage challenges and to get back to talking about homeschooling, because I know so many of you are here for the homeschooling reasons. So to be able to talk more about homeschooling, to talk more about adoption and parenting, and for my husband and I to sit down and talk about being a couple with so many kids and running a business and just the trials and tribulations of what marriage is for us, and maybe what some of you guys are going through. And my hope is to be able to be more vulnerable and to continue to vlog even in the hard. Because for me, what ends up happening is when stuff is like crazy and a mess, I just become a recluse, and I'm like, I'm not vlogging, I'm not letting nobody in during this time. Similar to last year Vlogmas when Lonnie got sick, like y'all, whew, that was so hard. Right now I feel like, man, I wish I would have vlogged that, because there may be somebody else, another couple that is similar to us, that have kids, that don't have the family support, that's alone, and they're going through something similar and trying to figure out, how do I navigate this? Because for me, it was like the business, the kids, my husband is sick. I can't leave my kids at home, but I'm not leaving my husband in the hospital alone without having an advocate. I can't let the business shut down. What do I do? And I wish that I would have vlogged that, so that those of you who may be experiencing that or may experience that later would have a person, right? Even with us moving into a rental, and I didn't vlog that. It was so hard. I was so scared during that time, and I wish I would have shared that, because now I've overcame it, and I'm like, dang, I wish I would have vlogged that. So yeah, that's my hope with this channel, is to just get back to my roots. And then I still want to vlog, of course, but get back to my roots, but also be consistent. Because I am so inconsistent, and I really have a desire to be consistent, and I'm hoping that Atomic Habits is going to help me become that person, or shall I say I am that person. I am consistent. That's my hope with YouTube. We'll see, you guys. I don't know. I'm just being 100% honest. We are on the what is it? We're on the edge of jumping off the cliff again into a third location. And so we're like right there. And I had said to you guys that if we do it, I want to take you along with us for the journey, because I haven't done that. Because again, I'm so private. I'm such a recluse. When life is hard, I tend to back away. I think that's the introvert side of me. But this time I want to take you along, not only for you guys to see what it's like for those of you who are thinking about starting a business or starting a business or whatever, you know. So I want to take you along for that, but also for myself, because I realize I need to see myself in the hard and then see how I've grown. Like, be able to look back and be like, girl, yeah, I remember that was hard, but look at where you are now. Like, you're okay, you're good, and just see the progression of growth for myself. So I think that will be really good for me. I just have to, I gotta push through that part. So yes, that is where I am. That's the plans. That's the hopes. That's the goals for this channel and myself for 2022. Yeah, now that I've rambled, what are you guys' plans for 2022? What are some things that you are hoping for, your dreams, your plans? How have you reset yourself for 2022? Have you done anything that you're like, this is how I'm going to refresh my spirit, my soul? Let me know in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's encourage each other, give each other ideas on things that we can do to alleviate the whole decision-making fatigue. Do y'all know what I mean? Do y'all have decision fatigue? Let me know if that's just me. But let me know some things that you've done that maybe have helped you out with forming habits or staying on track or not getting burnt out as quickly. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. If you guys have any questions about anything, feel free to leave those down below. As always, if you are still here, after this video, you MVP, unofficially, but you're an MVP. Go ahead and make it official. Go on and hit the subscribe button and get your trophy and make this thing official. We would love to have you here and as a part of our family. To the rest of my non-traditional family, like, I cannot say it enough, you guys. I love you guys. You guys have been such a blessing in my life, so encouraging, and I truly do appreciate you being here, you watching, you commenting, and you liking all the things. And yeah, I won't get too mushy here. So yes, love you guys. Thank you for making sure that I don't sit here and talk to myself for 30 minutes. That's why you're the MVP right there. I will see you guys in the next one.